to worry about what we're doing. All of his players, he has said, worry about you today. Play clean, and they'll have a chance to redeem themselves.
Thank you, Holly. 5 times they have faced off with the Sooners in the last 3 trips to the tournament and have come up empty. Is this the day they change things around, or will it be more Boomer Sooner? Winner of this one is into the national semifinals. 1 win away from a return to the championship series. They'll get the day off tomorrow and play on Monday. Loser will come back and play tomorrow. Tegan Cavan is the sophomore from West Des Moines, Iowa. Spectacular through her first 2 seasons. 25-5 on the year, but she has yet to come up with a win against Oklahoma, hoping today's the day.
Well, Tegan Cavan, when she is upright and on target, she's going to be at 70 miles an hour. She also has a changeup at 56 miles an hour, but it's a rise ball at multiple levels. When that pitch is hopping, when her mechanics are good and she's strong and upright, that pitch is explosive.
These 2 teams met at the end of April in Norman, a sweep for OU, but it was an all-out slugfest. The offenses ruled the days. Can the pitchers strike back here this afternoon? Starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. Oklahoma, the highest remaining seed in the tournament. They will be the visitors today. Ella Parker, 2 for 4 on Thursday with the 2 home runs. She drove them all in their victory over Tennessee. And she and Cassidy Pickering have been lights out at the top of this lineup. 3 starters returning from last year's championship team, and 2 of them will get things rolling. And it's Cassidy Pickering, who hit a couple of home runs last year in the championship series off the Longhorns for Patty Gasso. Now in her 41st season at the helm. She's been in Norman since 1995. Ball. And the first team All-American steps in and takes ball 1 from Cavan. One of 6 Sooners with double-digit home runs. The team was second best in the country in that department.
And their slug is at the top. I mean, they can slug throughout the lineup, but a lot of times you kind of ease in with some short game. That's not pick and park. Last 5 games, 8 home runs between these 2.
With 20 runs batted in. As Pickering takes a strike, 2-1. Cavan named a second-team All-American. Threw a complete game, got the win against Florida, allowing just a couple of hits on Thursday. Only used 1 strikeout, guys. The defense behind her was terrific.
Well, that's what she's going to need. She's going to have to mix speeds like she did on that last one, 59-mile-an-hour changeup, and pitch to contact. You're not going to strike out a lot of Sooners. This is a team that doesn't strike out much.
More walks than strikeouts as a team this year.
No.
Well, we start out with a full count for Tegan Cavan. This season, boy, tough sledding in 2 losses to the Sooners. Everybody else, she was sub-2 ERA.
Texas not afraid to shift their defense. Caden Henry playing that left center field gap. In fact, Katie Stewart all the way over, hugging that left field line. Leaves a big mighty gap. Look over in right center field. That gap over there because everyone shifted to the left side.
Pickering, the sophomore out of Humboldt, Texas. 1 for 4 in their opener. And smashes that foul down the line. Well, we heard Holly and the report on Mike White. There's no avoiding the Oklahoma across the chest. So any advice for trying to overcome a mental block that they've had against the Sooners and break through here today?
Well, I think a lot of it is just worrying about the feet that are in the box, not looking at the uniform, and that is just...
See, she said she saw chalk. It was the dirt coming up.
But, you know, at some point, you know, Beth, you have to just focus on the game, throwing the pitch, executing, barreling up balls. It doesn't matter who your opponent is, it's the same game.
8th pitch of this at-bat. Pickering gets under it and sends it out to Caden Henry in center. 1 down. sophomore from Los Angeles. A first-team All-American again this season, even though she really has only played about half the year, and that hasn't been 100% healthy.
Ball.
Battling a lower leg issue in her right leg and foot all season long. Most of her time off the field, she's in a boot. But that hasn't affected her swing once she's gotten comfortable with dealing with it and handling the pain.
She's dealing with a lot of pain, so it's impressive that she's been able to figure out how to deal with it. You talk about the first 43 games versus the last 13. Wow. Are you kidding me? 500 batting average. 363 wasn't bad either, but got even better.
And just the power's return, right? 9 home runs in her last 14 games. I mean, she has just been swinging it.
Tegan Cavan with a 1-2 count. The foot issue doesn't seem to be too bothersome for her. She often will stay out there and run. And here's Nellie McEnroe-Marinas. Redshirt freshman with the captaincy on her chest. Watched from the dugout as the Sooners won the title last year and knew she wanted to play an integral role in her first appearance here at the World Series. Ground ball to short, good to Bennett for the lead runner, and safe at first is Nellie Mack. 2 down.
This ball well struck, but right at good, and she's going to flip it over to Bennett. Bennett has to throw on the run when she comes over the bag. Good stretch at first by Mitchell, just missing out on that double play because Nellie Mack runs really well.
So here's Gabby Garcia, second-team All-American for the freshman out of Chandler, Arizona. She hit a couple of home runs in the regular season against the Longhorns. Following in the footsteps of her mom, Kara, who played in the World Series with Arizona State back in the early aughts. She had a hit yesterday. Gabby, not her mom.
I bet her mom still got it. I remember Kara Brunn. She was a gamer. She was a baller. Definite.
Ball.
1-1 misses away. Patty Gasso with the 8 national championships, tied with Mike Candrea for the most for a coach. So this would break the tie if she can bring home number 9.
Ball.
It's been an incredible run. A win today. They are into the semis for the 9th straight year. It's 5 straight years in the championship, with 4 of those resulting in rings.
They work Garcia away a lot, but just they come inside and she smashes it down the right field line.
Does a good job with their hands getting to that pitch. Got lucky on this one, though. Big round turn. This would have been the last out of the inning. I'm actually surprised they didn't go after her. I know Nellie Mack's coming off the bat, but you get Garcia out here, it doesn't matter. They want Nellie McEnroe-Marinas to be able to cause exactly what she did, save Garcia from what was a big mistake in that big round around first. Yeah, Patty's telling her, get off, get off.
Gasso was trying to score on that one.
Yeah, she almost ran for her. But as a defender, you know, hey, I got 2 outs. She's hosed. Let's go after this runner. It doesn't matter what Nellie Mack wants to do at third.
So a big moment early for Texas and for Cavan with their struggles against the Sooners, trying to keep a clean slate for Mike White. His 8th trip here to Oklahoma City, is 3rd with Texas. Prior to that, 5 with the Oregon Ducks. The loser of this game will play Oregon tomorrow in an elimination game.
Ball.
And here's Sydney Barker, a chance for a freshman to get the Sooners the lead. Two for 5 in the NCAA tournament with a runner in scoring position, has driven in a couple in the postseason. So far, the Sooners unblemished through the regionals, the Supers, in their first game here. As Sam Landry awaits the starting pitcher for OU today.
Come on.
Sydney Barker, not a starter throughout most of the season. Coming off the bench, a pinch hit, but Sydney Sanders went down with injury. She got an opportunity to really prove herself, and now they can't keep her out of the lineup. She was hitting in the 3-hole through most of the NCAA tournament. Just a freshman.
How about 8 starts and an 8-game hitting streak? Longhorns picking up the bats when we come back. Check out the starting lineups brought to you by Capital One. And Thursday was unofficially Jolie Mitchell Day in Bevo Country with a pair of home runs as they beat Florida and got the 3-0 shutout. Katie Stewart also hit one out. And so here comes Texas for the first time to face Sam Landry, who's 5-0 in the NCAA tournament. She's won her last 6 starts, and during the regular season, beat Texas twice, once as a starter and once in relief. Transfer from Louisiana. The latest in a long line of outstanding pitchers for Patty Gasso at OU.
And look at immediately, Oklahoma goes to this unique defensive style right behind Sam Landry.
Ball.
Trying to counteract all that speed of Maloney in that leadoff spot.
There's no one in right field. I feel like that's the big yes. Everyone is now on the left side of the infield for that short game, but there is nobody, not even shifted over. You get the ball to the grass over there, I mean, that could be a home run.
That is the right fielder, Sydney Barker, currently playing second base. Adbayani has moved over to short. Garcia plants herself in the 5-6 hole against Ashton Maloney, one of the top hitters in this NCAA tournament. Went 0 for 3 against the Gators on Thursday.
Well, and as a hitter, when you see this defensive alignment against you, you know every pitch is going to be on the outer half.
She cannot come inside. If she does, it better be in, because Maloney is able to get around anything. She's going to have a whole lot of fun.
Ball.
Staying away, but missing the corner. 2-2. Maloney, the junior from Liberty, Missouri, has a hit in 9 of her last 10 and 61 infield hits as a slapper, third most in the country. Works the count full.
Funny, look at where those hits are, Beth. I mean, it's a whole heck of a lot of them, but a lot of them are short game over to where all of the Sooners are now playing defense. The analytics getting into softball, understanding exactly where the ball is going to go.
Chops that foul. Maloney, one of those 400 hitters at the top of this lineup. No longer the 40 acres at Texas, but the 400 acres at the top of the order. Another 3-2, and there is Garcia to make the play. Well positioned on the shift, one down.
This is the reason why Oklahoma does this. It's the shift right here. It puts Garcia in that 5-6 hole. Normally, if Garcia's in a normal position, that potentially is a base hit through the 5-6 hole, but nope. Garcia's right there to scoop it up. Can't get it past that wall there on the left side.
And not having to go to her backhand, but her forehand. Yeah. It allows her to throw her out easier.
First pitch swing for Caden Henry out of Dickinson, Texas. All SEC second teamer. So on Thursday, the 2 newcomers here to the SEC beat 2 of the old timers in the SEC to stay in the winner's bracket.
So Keaton Henry is very similar in that she will do a whole lot of short game, a ton of speed, but you see they're not shifting her. They're playing regular defense because Henry will spray it. She's got 3 home runs on the season as well. She can find the gap. You don't want to risk it as much with Caden Henry.
Yeah, left side will be up, right side is back. That's Sid Sanders at first, way back behind the bag.
Ball.
Agbayani as well, deep in that second base hole. So expecting a little bit more power to that right side.
She's almost a perfect hybrid of the 2 batters that bookend her. Ashton Maloney in front of her short game, Mia Scott with the pop behind her.
Henry does have 22 bunt singles this season, but she'll swing there. Out chasing after. That's a single season record, 446 batting average. Big bats to follow after the speed here at the top. Scott and...
This is a good 2-strike swing. We saw it with Ella Parker. This one's a little bit more elevated, but you see it's a 3/4 swing. She's just trying to poke this to the middle. She does that, and now the fastest runner for Texas is on first base.
Scott starting in her 251st game today.
Ball.
Was 2 for 4 in the opener on Thursday. Coming in here with a 7-game hitting streak in which she has 12 hits and 10 runs scored.
For a reason, she is a state champion in the 100 and 200 meters. She has got blazing speed, and you saw it on that still. Dickinson High School, she was a standout. She could probably run track at Texas too, but she's busy doing this in softball.
That's her 31st stolen base of the year. Using that track technique.
Well, and I think they're going to pick a little bit on Bella Emmerling behind the dish because she has a tendency to not finish her throw, so the throws go off to the right side of second base. I think there's a big opportunity for Texas if they can get on base to try to steal some bases off her.
Yeah, she's only caught 3 of the 19 that have run on her. Scott appeared to be considering a bunt on that pitch. She's only struck out 8 times all season. Really good at putting the ball in play.
Ball.
And it is another full count.
Eyes and hands. That's Mia Scott. Great understanding of the strike zone. Watch her hands with 2 strikes. Her ability to be able to put the ball in play no matter where the ball is.
The opposite way, and that's a fair ball. Henry had to hold on it, so she goes to third, and it's runners on the corners with 1 out.
Great job, Mia Scott with 2 strikes. Just being able to put this in play off the end of the bat. But watch Cassidy Pickering. She's going to do it deep. She's going to pretend like she's caught this, which makes Caden Henry have to hold. She doesn't do this. Henry easily scores. We just talked about her speed. This is a ball that she can score on easily. Nice heads up by Cassidy Pickering in left.
They score on a double steal and an error, and it's 1-0 Texas, and Scott now 60 feet away. And nobody happier than Reese Atwood herself that she can take off the bunt and swing it.
Well, and Oklahoma still has to be so careful with Reese Atwood right now. She sees a ton of walks, a ton of balls outside of the zone because she is the best hitter in this lineup. However, on deck is the home run hitter, Jolie Mitchell.
Boy, and that error by Agbayani, the throwing error that allows Mia Scott to go over to third. Just her 2nd error of the season, a Gold Glove winner. Second baseman Agbayani is, but because of that error, Scott's at third, gives Atwood the opportunity for the sacrifice fly.
Ball.
And that will bring up Jolie Mitchell, the grad student from Rosebud, Arkansas, with the 2 home runs on Thursday. A couple of solo shots. Just as impressive for Jolie. She sent one to left center and one to right center against the Gators.
Ball.
First Texas player to do that, hit a couple out in the same World Series game. Big start for the Longhorns, who have lost 22 of the last 25 head-to-head meetings, and they have not beaten Oklahoma in the state of Oklahoma since 2014. That's 25 games in a row.
It's been dominating. I mean, Oklahoma has just really had their number. They've intimidated them, and you could just tell that Texas rarely has played their best softball against Oklahoma, and I think that's what Mike White wants. He's like, let's just go out and play Texas softball, play our best version of ourselves.
Landry gets her upstairs for her first strikeout, but a couple on the board. One done. And our winners bracket Saturday. The winner moves on to the national semifinals. And it's Horns with the high fives early.